This is what happens when you work to change things. And first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
Number 10, Eye-Q Go, Concord camera. The Eye-Q Go had one distinguishing characteristic. It was the first publicly available digital camera to utilize Bluetooth technology. Unfortunately, Concord did absolutely nothing with that potential. Even worse, they completely bungled it. The Eye-Q Go was a horrible camera in every sense of the word. The pictures it produced were very dark thanks to both a faulty flash and its active pixel sensor. Its upload speed was also painfully slow, as transferring just 7 megabytes worth of photos from the camera to the computer took about 15 minutes. Even by the standards of old tech, that was painful. It was an absolute disaster of a release, and it helped contribute to Concord's demise, with the company going defunct in 2009. Number 9, Peak Inc. In 2007, Virgin Mobile employees left the company and started their own called Peak Inc.
Decent little email device. Costs $99. Can be bought at Target stores right now. Requires a monthly service fee of $20 though, which is pretty steep for a device that only does email, doesn't do text messaging, instant messaging, or anything else.
They focused on handheld mobile devices, but there was just one problem: a little competitor called Apple. Released in 2007, the iPhone completely steamrolled the opposition and changed the very fabric of not only the mobile industry, but technology as a whole.
And we're going to do it again with the iPhone in 2007. And we're very excited about this.
Peak, which basically just sent emails and texts, simply could not compete. A series of further blunders followed, including the bafflingly misguided Twitter Peak, which allowed users to access Twitter for the low cost of $8 a month.
The bottom line is this: if you're going to have such a feature-specific device that only does Twitter, then you have to make sure it does Twitter well. And the fact is, it doesn't.
Why? We don't know. And neither did anybody else. It was called one of the worst gadgets of the decade by Gizmodo, and Peak went out of business in 2012. Number 8, QCAT, Digital Convergence Corporation. The early internet was a weird time, and there were certainly some growing pains. Enter the QCAT.
The rollout has begun. Dallas Digerati got a sneak peek of QCAT and CRQ at a glitzy party. But it's the folks at home who will make or break the new product.
This thing was produced by Digital Convergence Corporation, and it allowed users to scan a barcode that had been printed in a book, newspaper, or magazine. This barcode would then send the scanner to a URL, thereby giving them access to a specific web page.
Now, from every corner of the digital universe, information can be accessed quickly and directly with just a swipe of the cat.
Like we said, growing pains. Despite some major partners like Forbes and Wired, it received harsh reviews and attracted some major privacy concerns. These concerns were founded in September 2000 when nearly 150,000 users were affected by a security breach. It was like pouring water on a grease fire, and the company dissolved the next year, losing investors $185 million.
CRQ and QCAT, the two greatest technologies on the planet, all at crq.com. You got to check it out.
Number 7, HP TouchPad, Hewlett-Packard. The Hewlett-Packard company is better known as HP, and it was founded all the way back in 1939. It was doing well into the late 2000s, buying out companies left and right for billions of dollars, and then came the ill-fated HP TouchPad.
And we'll have a real good time.
The amazing sound of Beats Audio and the brilliance of Flash, only on the new HP TouchPad with WebOS.
Tablets were all the rage in the early 2010s, a phase once again kickstarted by Apple. Unfortunately, the touchpad was no iPad. It suffered from a painfully slow performance which did not measure up to its $600 price tag.
You'd be much better suited going with an iPad 2, going with the Galaxy Tab 10.1, and getting that sort of more robust ecosystem and a more polished product.
The device was not long for the world, lasting just 49 days before HP announced that it was discontinuing service.
The company announced an inventory fire sale. Touchpads began liquidating at retailers around the country for just $99 for the 16GB version.
Even worse, HP declared that it was abandoning consumer goods altogether, and the company went defunct just a few years later. Number 6, Sinclair C5, Sinclair Vehicles. Just one look at the Sinclair C5 is enough to elicit chuckles and a "what the heck is that?" Well, that is an electric tricycle.
The Sinclair C5. It's a new power in personal transport.
Some bizarre amalgamation of a motorcycle, tricycle, and a Vespa, the Sinclair C5 was a unique vehicle indeed. But unique doesn't always mean good.
I think what people are getting for their £399 is essentially a low-speed, short-range, very economical, fun vehicle. I'm sure a lot of people will think it's a bargain at that.
This thing was widely mocked by the British press, receiving criticism for its lack of weatherproofing, horrible battery that died quickly, and pitiful max speed of just 15 miles an hour.
The Sinclair C5. A whole new way to get about.
That, and it just looked ridiculous. The electric tricycle sold very poorly and lasted just a couple of months before Sinclair vehicles went into receivership. Number 5, Kerbango Internet Radio. Kerbango. Nowadays, it's very simple to listen to the radio on your computer or smartphone, but not so back in the early 2000s. Kerbango Internet Radio was exactly what it advertised, a device that allowed users to access internet audio without a physical computer. Unfortunately, there were a few problems. The concept was still relatively niche. The device cost upwards of $300, and it required broadband internet at a time when dial-up was the norm. In fact, Kerbango was such a bomb that it was never even released. Despite some strong buzz and a heavy advertising campaign, the internet radio never appeared. After countless infuriating delays, Kerbango was bought out by 3Com, and they subsequently announced that they were leaving the consumer goods market. Number 4, Juicero Press. Juicero. Juicers are simple. You put fruit in, you press a button, and you get juice. Juicero made it needlessly complicated, and it cost them, both literally and figuratively.
Juicero. The easiest, freshest, most delicious way to get juice.
The Juicero Press was like Netflix mixed with Keurig. Users had to subscribe to Juicero's service, and in return, they got single-serve juice packets to be used in the press. Even worse, these packs had to be verified with a QR code before the juice was released. As if the basic concept of the Juicero Press wasn't silly enough, Bloomberg News then revealed that you could simply squeeze the packs by hand. Keep in mind that this pointless device cost $700. Just 1 year after the gadget's rollout, Juicero went defunct, owing to a lack of sales.
I think that Juicero was killed in the first inning, right? And, you know, normally a baseball game is 9 innings. This was killed in the first inning.
Number 3, Guju Fusion Garage. The tablet industry is evidently quite competitive, and more than a little risky. It helped take down HP, and it also took down a little company called Fusion Garage.
12-inch or 12.1-inch system with a resolution, I think that looks like 3066 by 768. It's running on an Intel Atom N450, and yeah, it's pretty much the biggest tablet I ever had in my hands.
The Singapore firm faced controversy right out of the gate. They were working with TechCrunch co-editor Michael Arrington to release a device called the CrunchPad.
Okay, so that's the CrunchPad, and we have it in different colors. So this, the orange one, it's pretty light, it's sturdy.
However, they betrayed Arrington and released the CrunchPad without his involvement or say-so, renaming it the Guju. Arrington, in turn, sued Fusion Garage. The Guju was released in March 2010 and lasted just 8 months before entering its end-of-life stage.
There are just far too many niggles to make it a truly useful tablet, and I'm looking at the touchscreen, the UI, and internet connectivity in particular when I say that.
Thanks to horrible sales and an impending lawsuit in federal court, Fusion Garage went into liquidation with a combined debt of $40 million. Number 2, Palm Pre, Palm Inc. Founded in 1992, Palm Inc. focused on making PDAs, which was an early form of mobile device. When the iPhone came along, surprise, surprise, Palm Inc. announced that they were stopping production on all future PDAs and entering the smartphone market.
So what would a phone have to do to amaze you? What if it could make all these things work together? Do multiple things at once? Transform the way you manage your time? Or bring your information together in a totally new way?
Enter the Palm Pre, a slider smartphone using Palm's own operating system, WebOS. Unfortunately, the phone was poorly and cheaply designed, with users reporting easily cracked screens and loose sliding mechanisms. Furthermore, it launched with Sprint being its only American carrier, which significantly hindered sales.
And they had a creepy ad campaign that went with it. It was a strange-looking lady that didn't resonate with anyone.
It was a badly planned smartphone in basically every regard, and the sales were so poor that they killed Palm Inc. for good. With plummeting share prices, Palm was purchased by HP for $1.2 billion.
Consider buying Palm for a little over $1 billion as part of a portfolio play for HP as it tries to figure out what its place is in what is undoubtedly the fastest growing segment of personal computing.
Number 1, the Edison, Theranos. One good thing can be said about these companies, and that's that they tried. The same can't be said for Theranos and its founder, Elizabeth Holmes. Holmes was just 19 when she created Theranos, which claimed to revolutionize blood testing through its Edison machines.
That sample was then put into a cartridge and then placed into this portable device, which she claimed processed hundreds of blood tests, which could detect diseases from STDs to even cancer in real time.
According to the patent, these automated gadgets could quickly analyze blood with less than a drop. However, the tech was never peer-reviewed, and it was later proven that basically everything about it was either wildly exaggerated or made up.
So you basically start out with a base test.
Yep, and it kept failing. I kept running it
over and over and over. And how it was handled, it totally blew me away. They took out data points.
Theranos went defunct in 2018 and the disgraced Holmes was found guilty of fraud and conspiracy. She was sentenced to about 11 years in prison, and the company's president, Sunny Balwani, was sentenced to almost 13.
Holmes was convicted of 4 counts of fraud and conspiracy in January 2022.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.